Okay, thanks, George.
Michigan Governor Rick Snyder says he does not condone the Republican conspiracy to rig the state house election in the 76th district.
But the governor says it's also not his place to condemn actions taken by Speaker of the State House, Bolger, and Grand Rapids Representative Roy Schmidt.
WZZM 13's Phil Dawson is here to explain why not.
Juliet, Governor Snyder says he is the executive branch of state government, and it's not up to him to criticize the legislative branch. But he does encourage lawmakers to pass bills that prohibit schemes like the one Speaker Bolger and Representative Schmidt carried out.
Efficiently, because my focus is more and better jobs for the citizens of Michigan.
Michigan Governor Rick Snyder won't say much about the conspiracy led by Speaker of the House Bolger to undermine the election in the 76th district of the legislature.
I'm the executive branch. I'm staying focused on my duties, which are to focus on more and better jobs and a future for our kids.
With Speaker of the House Bolger helping to call the shots, Grand Rapids Democrat Roy Schmidt switched his party affiliation to Republican minutes before the May filing deadline. And at the same time, he hired a 22-year-old unknown college student to lie about living in the district and file to replace him as a Democrat. It could have guaranteed Schmidt's re-election as a Republican, except the public found out.
The candidate was going to lie in an affidavit about his residence. The Speaker knew this. Do you condone this?
No, but what I would say is again, that's a legislative issue, and
That's the part I don't get. How is it a legislative issue, not a moral issue?
Well, it's within the legislative branch of government.
If you are overlooking this, what does it say about your standards for state government?
I wouldn't say I'm overlooking that by any measure. I'm basically fulfilling my responsibilities as governor. I'm staying focused on my duties, which are to focus on more and better jobs and a future for our kids.
And I say this with all due respect, but some might think you were evading the issue.
I've always stayed focused on the issues, and again, to the degree there are recommendations from the judicial branch, we're happy to look at them and work on them. I clearly support that because I think there are improvements to the system that can be made.
Both Democrats and Republicans in the House have introduced bills that would make it harder for any future lawmakers to conspire to rig an election in the same way. Representative Schmidt and Speaker Bolger have, however, apologized but not followed suggestions to resign, and Bolger says he will not step down as Speaker of the House.
You also learned more about how Schmidt timed the switch from Democrat to Republican.
I did. It had to be done at the last minute to prevent Democrats from finding a bona fide candidate to replace him. So, according to an aide speaking on background, Schmidt met his two closest staff members at a lobbyist's office 10 minutes before the deadline and told them he was switching parties. One burst into tears, and the other, who'd been with him for 20 years, asked Representative Schmidt, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he says Schmidt answered, "I didn't trust you."
Wow, that's telling.
Representative Schmidt said that.
All right, thanks very much, Phil.
Sure.